2024 marked the year when gamers finally took charge against the woke narrative and the abhorrent DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion pushing in gaming, and finally taking a stand, fighting back, and basically driving out a lot of those things out of gaming by simply voting with their wallets. We saw the rise of a lot of channels that spoke nothing else but the truth and honest opinion, and that seemed to caught on with the fans, with the gamers who thought their voice were not heard and didn't have anyone to really lean on to support their views. And this year was absolutely pivotal because we saw so many woke insert franchises just collapse in front of our eyes. We have seen the dismantlement, the destruction, and the failure of games like Dragon Age Veilguard, Concord, Dustborn, all woke narratives with a lot of money pumped into them. We've seen many seasoned franchises from a lot of other companies like Ubisoft with their Star Wars Outlaws, Skull and Bones, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which was delayed. We've seen gamers take a stand, uniting against these things and just expressing our opinions and using our voice to unite under the banner to take games back and make them great again. And it's amazing what could be accomplished with people just using the voice that was given to them, expressing their freedom and their choices and their desires when it comes to the beautiful escapism that gaming and entertainment as a whole provides. Now, of course, it would take some time to completely drive those things out of gaming and make everything great again, but in a sense of wins versus losses this year, gamers have taken a lot of wins, and this is apparent with what games were nominated for the Game of the Year and what games became popular through sales, through playtime. Games like Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong, Marvel Rivals, currently Path of Exile 2, which is still in early access but it's breaking all sorts of records, leaving other franchises in the dust just because they provided what gamers really want, and that is entertainment. However, apparently tensions are so high from all this fighting, from all those efforts to simply stand strong and not let anything more disrupt the gaming, that we have failed to see that there's some stuff from within that we need to figure out. And while we did drive off the censorship from what the woke was presenting, uglifying women, feminizing male characters, inserting trans ideology, trying to politicize all games, we have still failed to take a look at what's happening here and how we want exactly to have our games presented and what we want to see. Good evening, ladies and gents, my name is Helso, the bearded Balkan blabbermouth, and this is DiscussThing, and today we're going to discuss something that is brewing and something that I think needs to be addressed very early on in order to sort of get into a beautiful middle ground and just get the word out that none of what is currently happening needs to be happening, because we are dealing with sensible people that I think would benefit from just agree to disagree on some stuff. Now, the topic of today's video is basically jiggle physics, sexy women, few clothing on women, and just a little bit more exposure of the skin. And this is something that Pirate Nation posted a few days ago, and I'm just gonna play a little bit of a clip here. This clip made the rounds really fast, and it shows what basically you see. It shows a dancing woman in a very revealing outfit just jiggling her butt here. And the question here from Pirate Nation, is this what gamers want? Now, the comments here vary a lot. Like, some people are supporting it, some people are being a little bit mid, some people are against that, of course, and pretty much the opinions vary from post to post. And before I get my opinion, I want to show you what this post led to. This is an account that I didn't actually know about a lot before, called dreadroberts, or at Sticky the Ninja. So now, this person is, from what I saw, religious and upholds the Christian values, which is totally fine, of course. And he had a comment about all of this, being that the constant promotion of half-naked women as the greener side of gaming is getting ridiculous, and I'm beginning to think that these people who say they want to save gaming don't actually want to save it. He continues in this sense and also says that most of what he's seeing for months now from such accounts are butt cheeks and cleavage. And yeah, it's kind of true that in a direct response to all those games that purposely uglified women, covered up female bodies, and made androgynous body selection in character creations such as Dragon Age Velgard, have produced a lot of games and a lot of images of those games. To give you a further picture, this is the year that produced the all great McDuggins from Hypnotic in Dragon Age Velgard, and it also produced the face of Dragon Age Velgard by Hill versus Babyface, which is absolutely hilarious to see at. And as a direct response on a psychological level, there were a lot of games that were released that directly countered such things, such as Stellar Blade, which has a lot of jiggle physics, a lot of sexy outfits. And this is also fine. Newton's third law states for every action or force in nature there is an equal and opposite reaction. And what does that mean? That means that when you have an oppressive force against beautiful women, the female body, the male body as well, and just trying to meld it into androgynous ugly forms to suppress the male gaze and all of that, and just have these unsightly characters in video games, you would eventually get a response. And this year was such a year. You got a lot of responses. You got Stellar Blade that is continuing to bring out sexy clothing, sexy angles to get an image from in-game. You have a lot of absolute eye candy, if that's a way I can describe it, that is being pumped out from this game. However, something else that it's in this game is that the game is actually pretty amazing to play. It has awesome gameplay, awesome graphics, a good storyline, and it's just a general enjoyment to play. And I'm saying that because getting back to the third law, you get the opposite reaction and they clash at a certain point and they don't move. But what is in the middle is what's important. Now, other content creators also supported DreadRoberts in what he has said, like Melanie Mack, who said curvy female characters like classic Lara Croft, great, but curvy characters almost completely naked doing stripper dances, no thanks. Muscular male characters, awesome, but these mods with Leon Kennedy on a jockstrap, degenerate, no thanks. And that's another opinion, which does have its merit. One person who responded in this kind of a dispute that is currently brewing was Smash JT, who said, when you're becoming exactly what you're fighting against, you're no better than those you're trying to stop. What I got from this is that DreadRoberts is kind of pushing for another type of censorship in order to just bring game characters in a bit of a more modest way, not to be just too revealing. And those two sides of the argument, which in an essence generally support one and the same thing against the woke, also have their own differences that just butted heads in each other. And I'm gonna read you my own response to this account that I'm actually half in agreement with. I'm inclined to mostly agree with pushing the half-naked everywhere is truly a direct response to the uglifying of women in modern games. It's basically the exact opposite. I also talk about Newton's third law, and I think that what will naturally follow is that we'll get a middle ground when everyone basically calms down. I also support having attractive women, but I also support having the focus be on story, to all of these things to be done sensible and to be done with a purpose. Now, this is something that might be misinterpreted. Does it mean to have it in purpose? One example I can give you is the Witcher gaming series. Now, you have loosely clothed women there, but when you truly get with someone, when you have pursued a romance or you have gone to a brothel, it's specific scenes that get you more nakedness and more reveal in that regard, which is something a bit deserved and something special within the game, which means that it's a thing, if you want to pursue exactly that you need to do some stuff, and it's a goal that you have to go to pursue. Also, having naked women or semi-naked women in a game like The Witcher is extremely effective because of the times that you live in. Same is with Mass Effect. You have a lot of instances where you have either sexy clothing, no clothing, semi-clothing. You have Asari strippers that you can see on various clubs. You have what I think is one of the most attractive thing in Mass Effect 2, which is this. And I know that everyone who has played the game and a lot of people who haven't played the game knows exactly what that is, which game, which scene, and know exactly who the character is. And my point to all of this is that all the infighting that has occurred already between Smash JT and DreadRoberts and other content creators who have chimed in on the situation is that it doesn't need to happen. And Smash JT had a very nice article written with a lot of comments, a lot of screenshots that were posted, and I do suggest that you have to read this article. I will be posting it down in the description below because it is a very exhaustive article. He also had a live stream which I semi-caught and video afterwards which explained a lot of the situation and a lot of the things that are happening. And I just need to put my 2 cents on the matter because I think that this is something that potentially can grow and just have some infighting that is completely unnecessary. I believe that both sides of this argument are correct. I don't think that you need censorship as a whole on those aspects of video game. I am in full support of having attractive characters, good aesthetic female bodies, and even protagonists that are an eye candy to look at. But I also am support to having the focus on good gameplay, good storyline, and good character development, which for me personally are the best thing that a game can offer, and it's also the most important thing. So why not combine all of this? Games used to be all about providing you with the best experience, and that's a bit of a rarity these days because everyone is pulling to one specific things. Now you do have a lot of games that are still cool on one hand of another, and I don't think that you need nakedness in each and every game imaginable. You can have perfect good fun with stuff like Stellar Blade and stuff like Undertale, for lack of better comparison that is on top of my head. The point is that instead of fighting and instead of being, in this case, Christian values or whatever belief system that you get, or a bit more of an agnostic or atheistic view, the main thing is that we are fighting for one thing, and that's the important thing. We're fighting for good games. Whether or not these games will have or not have jiggle physics and butts and tits and whatever, the main thing is to have an enticing story, something to get you to play and have that sort of escapism. Of course, beautiful characters, sexy characters will always be a huge selling point in video games. And I'm not talking just about the male portion of gamers. I'm talking about female gamers. I have heard a lot of comments from several different female gamers about female bodies as well as male bodies. And it's a good thing to look at. On a psychological level, it's something that entices you to check the game out at least. And if the game can attract you with this and provide you with everything else that you need, which is good storyline, good gameplay, good character development, something to immerse yourself in, then the game has basically fulfilled its purpose. And that is why I'm saying that the golden middle ground is the way to go. You can have both of these things. The main thing is to provide you with escapism. Now, will there be games that only cater to jiggle physics and such stuff? Yeah, let them have it. There is an audience for that. You don't need to censor them. And also there will be games that have none of that and focus on entirely different things. There will be fans of that. It doesn't matter if one game has more fans or another game has less fans. The important thing is to allow creators to create whatever they like, just like in the old times. We have almost succeeded in driving DEI and the woke narrative out of gaming and out of entertainment. And now is not the time for fighting. Now it is time to just stand strong and work together. Whatever feelings, whatever beliefs you have, they're not affected by what is being presented. This is just freedom, and everyone is free to express their creative vision, whether or not it will be buds jiggling, whether or not it will be mining blocks, whether or not it will be performing absolute carnage on demons or skeletons or whatever. The fact is that you're free to do it, and that's what we're fighting for, the freedom to express your creative vision. And everyone who has the freedom will get the people that do want to share that freedom. And if something is not to your liking, do not take the approach of the woke people and whine about it online in front of everyone. Just accept it that it exists. It may not be for you, but other things are. Everyone can enjoy whatever they like as long as they're not hurting anyone else, and as long as they are having the good experience that they need in their minds and in their bodies. And that is the fight that we need to keep on fighting. And the fight, my dear friends, is good. Thank you very much for watching this video if you did until now. I am a bit sick and my mind is a little bit hazy, but hey, I have no script and I'm making this stuff as I go, so you will excuse me. If you enjoy what you're hearing and if you enjoy my content, press the subscribe button. If you want to support my channel and help me grow and eventually turn YouTube into my full-time gig, press the join button and support me directly by becoming part of the DiscussThing guild. I have 3 tiers and amazing perks everywhere. And if you want to support me and my wife's efforts of helping homeless animals and animals in shelters by providing them food, care, warmth, housing, and whatever it is possible, click the Patreon link in the description below and follow one of the tiers there. All 100% of the proceeds there go to saving homeless animals and animals in shelters. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Hills. This was DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.